Hey, friend. Today we're talking about your why. And I want to tell you something up front. This is day 6, not day 1, and I did that on purpose. I start with why a lot of times, but I also find I don't need a huge, deep, compelling why to get you started. Taking action matters more to me than starting with a perfect why. I just wanted you moving. And now that you're a few days in, we get to discover your why together. And it's actually going to be awesome because you're not just thinking about it, you're already living into it. So let me start here. Michael Hyatt and Daniel Harkavy wrote a book called Living Forward. And the whole premise of it is this: most people don't end up somewhere that they don't want to be on purpose, they drift there. And when I read that, I immediately thought about being a kid. My cousins and I would go to Sunset Beach, North Carolina, every other year with our whole family. And we would spend hours on the ocean riding our boogie boards, riding waves, waterlogged, laughing, completely lost in it. We weren't thinking about anything except the next wave, and we were just playing. And at some point, one of us would look up and way down the beach, like way further than made any sense, we saw our moms waving and calling us back. And we hadn't swum anywhere. Like we hadn't tried to move down the beach. We were just playing. But the undertow had been pulling us the whole time, slowly, without us feeling it. And suddenly we were nowhere near where we started. That is the drift. You're not choosing a wrong destination. You're just not choosing at all. You're riding the waves of your life. You're getting through the week. You're surviving the season. And the undertow of that distraction or that overwhelm is just pulling you further from where you want to be every single day without you feeling it. And then one day you look up and you're way down the beach from the life you meant to be living. You cannot drift your way into the health you want. You cannot drift your way into the marriage, financial peace, or a life that actually feels like yours. The undertow only goes one direction, and it's not usually forward. But what carries you forward is a vision so clear that it steers you on purpose, even on the days that you're not thinking hard about it. And so that leads me to something that goes hand in hand with this. You may have heard the saying, you steer where you stare. So wherever your eyes are locked, that's the direction your life starts moving, almost without you trying. So my husband and I have led retreats where we have people start with the end in mind by literally writing their own eulogy. And here's what I've noticed every single time. It's natural for your vision to be built on what you don't want. Like, I'll never treat people the way she treated me. That's like human nature, is to be able to identify what you don't want. But if you're only staring at what you refuse to become, what you don't want to do, who you don't want to be, you're actually going to steer right toward it because your eyes are still locked on that, even if it's negative. And so we have to flip that. And we can't have our eyes only focused on the negative, or else we'll go right to that. So when you're developing your why, you can start with where you don't want to be, but I need you to flip it and say, this is what I actually want. Like, what is the opposite of that for you? So let me give you an example. I'm a mom of 6 daughters, so a lot of my examples are parenting, but most of us moms get this. We say something like, I'm not going to be a screamer like my mom was. And then one day you catch yourself and you sound exactly like your mom. Instead of staring, though, at who you don't want to be, you build a clear picture of who you will become and you stare at her instead. So instead of saying, I will not be a screamer, you're going to say, I am going to be a patient and kind and loving mom who takes care of herself and gets rest so she can respond instead of react to her kids. Get it? So so we'll talk more about that in a minute. But first, let's talk about the 2 kinds of why that are going to fuel your vision. Okay. The first is extrinsic motivation. That's the outside stuff. That's the visible proof that something changed. It's fitting in a pair of jeans, a number on the scale, how you look in a picture. Like it's real, it's valid. There's nothing wrong with that. But it can get you started, but it can't keep you going. Like it's the sprinter, not the distance runner. You hit the goal and the urgency fades. The jeans fit, you stop caring. It can carry you for a little bit, but it cannot carry you across the finish line. So it carries you all the way is intrinsic motivation. And that's the inside stuff. It's the deeper longing. It's more personal. It's underneath everything else. And the intrinsic motivation actually sounds different than extrinsic. It's positive, it's who you're becoming, it's not about who you're leaving behind. So, intrinsic sounds like I want to feel genuinely confident in my own skin. I want to walk in every room and spend the entire time thinking about others and not about how I look or feel. I want energy. So, when I wake up in the morning, I'm excited to get out of bed. I want long-term health. I will be the woman who is strong and vibrant and present for her kids and grandkids. I'll be the fun grandma who gets on the floor and plays with her kids. Or I am proving to myself that I am the woman who follows through, that when I say I'm going to do it, I do it. Or I'm becoming the woman who's proud of herself, deeply proud of who she's becoming. Those are intrinsic. They're not about running from where you have been, it's running towards something. So you need both. You need extrinsic to get started, and then you need intrinsic to keep going for the long haul. So I'm going to give you some questions to build your why right now. And even if you've done this before, I'm encouraging you to do it again. And I'm going to ask these questions and also put them in the show notes. So, question one, where are you right now and where do you want to be? Not where do you think you should be, not where you used to be. Where are you actually today? And here's the way I want you to answer the second part. I want you to think about holding a magic wand over your body right now. And if you could change anything you wanted to about your health, what would you change? Would you lose weight? How much? What would that feel like in your body? Would you build muscle, strength? Would you feel capable and powerful? Would you improve your blood work, lower your A1C, get your cholesterol where it needs to be? Would you balance your hormones? Would you reduce visceral fat? That's the kind that like wraps around your organs and drives inflammation and disease. So, what does your magic wand version of you actually look like and feel like? And be specific. Question two, when you get to that place, that magic wand version of yourself, how will it emotionally, mentally, and physically impact you? So it's not just I'll look better, it's how will you feel when you wake up in the morning? What will be different in your mind? What will your body be able to do? How will your confidence and your mental clarity change? And question three, what will you do more of? What will you say yes to? What are you avoiding that you're like, I would do that if I felt great again? So, what invitations are you saying no to? What experiences are you sitting out on? What version of your life are you like really wanting to live? And then question four is the one that when I ask clients this, they tend to cry because I'm like, let's say you lost all that weight. Let's say you gained that muscle. Let's say you were feeling confident and strong and courageous. Let's say you have mental clarity. Let's say you have energy again. What will you do more of? What will you say yes to? And they say, I would ride my bikes with my kids. I would actually have time to like connect with my husband and have the energy to do it. I would say yes to invitations with friends. And I'll say, and how would that impact them? The most important people, your kids, your husband, your closest friends, your colleagues. How does that comeback ripple out beyond just you? And the truth is, when you're the healthiest version of you, it changes everything for the people around you. Everything. When your kids have an energetic, confident, excited to be alive mom, their life radically changes. So I want you to take those answers and do one more thing with them. I want you to imagine 3 movie scenes. Like, I want these scenes to feel like actual scenes in your head. of you in the moment being that woman. So I want to give you some examples of what mine were when I started my health journey. Scene one, I was running behind my little girl's bike, holding the back of her bike seat and then letting go. And she is pedaling on her own for the first time on two wheels. And I was running behind her, arms in the air, cheering my head off, present, energetic, there. And I helped her achieve her dream. Number two, my second movie scene, I was getting out of the car in a super cute dress that I just grabbed from the back of the closet, fit, didn't have to try it on or adjust it. I was getting out of the car, and my husband and I were walking down the sidewalk into our favorite little restaurant holding hands. And I look over at him and he makes me laugh. And I feel flirty and fun and like really good in my own skin. I feel confident. I feel cute. And we're both engaged and energized and enjoying each other. Scene three, I was at the pool with my kids and I was wearing a cute mom bikini. And my kids are calling me to get in and play in the water. And instead of waving them off from behind my cover up or my towel, I confidently leave those behind and I get in the pool and play with the kids. So I want you to make your movie scenes so specific so that when you wake up in the morning and your feet hit the floor, I want you to run through those 3 movie scenes in your mind in about 10 seconds. And that's your why. And it's easy to play it on repeat. And it steers you exactly where you need to go. So I want you to develop a scene of the woman you're becoming so you can stare at her instead of staring at why you failed or why you're having to start over again or whatever. You, my friend, are an overcomer. You just have to dare to begin. Let's begin.